Hello, I'm Sujata from CBSE NEET JEE Chemistry.in. In this video, we will apply the reactions learned to prepare carbonyl compounds. You will see this question and its variations in many exams, and understanding this will give you a definite advantage. The major product obtained when ethyl benzene reacts with excess chlorine in UV light followed by reaction with aqueous potassium hydroxide. You have four options. The answer, the major product would be obviously any one of these four options. Now before we start writing the equations, let's analyze this question. You have ethyl benzene, okay, made to react with excess chlorine in UV light. Chlorination in UV light. What does that tell you? That is a free radical mechanism. A free radical mechanism is involved and free radicals are produced. So you have benzene, hydrogens on the benzene ring and hydrogens on the ethyl group. The hydrogens on the ethyl group will be substituted by chlorine atoms in the presence of UV light. Okay? So that is the first part of the reaction. So now you have chloride. The chloride produced in the first step is subjected to reaction with aqueous potassium hydroxide solution, which is a nucleophilic substitution reaction. And then we get to identify which is the major product. Now let's start writing the equations. We have ethyl benzene, excess chlorine in UV light. So we're not looking into any of these hydrogens on the benzene ring. The hydrogens of the alkyl side chain would be substituted by the chlorine atoms, free radical substitution. Now there are 5 hydrogens. You've got 3 hydrogens on this carbon and 2 hydrogens on this carbon. Which are the hydrogen atoms which are likely to be substituted by chlorine depends upon the stability of the free radicals produced. If any of these hydrogen atoms are replaced by chlorine, right, you get a primary free radical. Let's first focus on a monochloro derivative. So if one of the hydrogens of the methyl group is substituted by chlorine, you get a CH2 radical, a primary free radical. On the other hand, if any one of the hydrogens on this carbon atom is substituted by chlorine or is lost, you get a secondary free radical. More importantly, it is a benzyl free radical. Alright, and you know how stable a benzyl free radical is in comparison to a methyl free radical or a primary free radical, not a methyl free radical, a primary free radical. So I repeat, the loss of a hydrogen from the methyl group will produce a primary free radical. The loss of a hydrogen from this CH2 group will produce a benzyl free radical, C6H5CH radical, which is more stable. So obviously, it is this hydrogen which is being lost and then substituted by chlorine. Now you have chlorine in excess. So after one hydrogen is lost, one more hydrogen is lost. Now you get a more stable free radical, a tertiary benzyl free radical, which is more stable, right? So these are the 2 hydrogen atoms which are substituted by chlorine to give you this geminal dichloride. The 2 chlorine atoms are substituted on the same carbon atom, are present on the same carbon atom. It is a geminal dichloride. So I hope this reaction is clear to you. So please understand why it is the benzylic hydrogens which are substituted by chlorine and not the hydrogens of the methyl group. So that is a very important point in this particular discussion. Alright, now the rest of the discussion is pretty simple. You have the dichloro compound. When made to react with aqueous potassium hydroxide, nucleophilic substitution reaction occurs. Both these chlorine atoms are substituted by OH groups. So now you have a geminal diol which is very unstable. You have 2 bulky OH groups on the same carbon atom that leads to instability and the easy loss of a molecule of water. So this compound, when subjected to heat, will result in the loss of a molecule of water. So now what happens? The OH will be lost. This bond will be lost along with the OH group. So this bond goes along with the OH. So OH minus and H plus. The bond between oxygen and hydrogen will shift to this position to give you a carbonyl group, right? So now you have arrived at a ketone. What is this compound? acetophenone. Alright, so this is the correct answer. So which option would acetophenone be? It is option C. So option C would be the correct answer to this question. We have over 230 videos with in-depth explanation of concepts in an easy and lucid manner in our organic chemistry course. Moreover, we have close to 400 videos of solutions to every kind of question that can be asked in any exam. Click the link in our description below to check out our course. Subscribe to our channel to regularly get new content to help you score high marks in chemistry.